for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle, and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find it here. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes Benz. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys. She calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard. Sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain. Please bring me my wine. He said we haven't had that spirit here since 1969, and still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. They living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise, what a nice surprise. Bring your alibi. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man, we are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Hello, 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 and welcome once again to the Dr. Zeero Xiron Free Magic Secret Show, where we investigate all forms of magic. We talk about things and stuff. We talk about occult commentary on the world today. We talk about the cool music I've been making and posting on this channel as Zeero Xiron Orchestra. And we talk about, the cool book I wrote. It's called Apex Unhinged. You can just Google it and find it. It's totally worth reading. You should just do that. That money's burning a hole in your pocket, eh? So you should just spend it on me. And I won't receive any money from it. It's just directly gonna go right to you. So blah blah blah, yakety smackety, moving on. So I'm making this video right now because I've reached a certain point where it's kind of an ending. Of course, every end of every journey is a path to the new beginning, and the magical path goes on because magic is infinite. And you can do infinite things with it. You can make yourself not bored forever. You know what I mean? And you never feel bored because you feel like you're being appreciative of life and you're engaged in life and such. But there does come an unfortunate moment where, as fanatically into Magick as you will ever become, there will eventually come a day where everything has been there, done that, read that book, read every possible book on that subject, seen every last movie you ever wanted to see, not just in a normal mundane sense of just cool movies, but, everything Magick related. And this is also mundane things. It's like you get to a point where in your life where you become extremely bored and you need something new. And this is where a lot of people turn to Magick when they have their magical awakening, usually in their 30s to early 40s, if they're going to have it, And in a sense, I'm kind of like at that place where as much as I'm still being appreciative of life, I can't help but to feel bored because everything has been there, done that. And this channel now has kept going and going and going and going and going. I've posted probably nearly 700 videos in its entirety, but I whittled them down to nearly just under 600 videos or something are posted. There's been a lot of stuff that was like, listen once, keep it up for like a week, and then just blow it up because I got my point across and whatever. So, everything is left on this channel. When you go digging through it, hit the playlist tab, promotion, and, you'll see everything sectioned off for easy perusing. And it's a gold mine, let me tell you. But as much as a gold mine as things are and Magick is in general, as I was saying, there comes a day where you become bored, where you feel like you have everything. It's been there, done that. And you're not getting the mental stimulation from other people that you hoped you would. And then the other people on talking about Magick that you pay attention to that are not necessarily your peers because you don't know them, but you at least take the time to listen to them because they're semi like the path. They can kind of understand what you're about. So there's all these like random people on social media that I'm watching. And, it's helpful to have a bit of a nonverbal support group. So you're not insane because other people are talking about the same stuff you are, but they're talking about way crazier shit than you are. So that really, it's a really odd thing to find myself as perhaps one of the sanest voices on the general pedestal here, getting up there with my microphone. That is a weird conundrum. WYRD conundrum. Oh, whoa, whoa. So, yeah. What do you say? So, I was thinking about like the history of the show and things that I've constantly talked about and seeded and put in the dialogue and some specific ideas that I've been pushing this whole time. So the whole point I want to say about boredom here, Magick and such. Now, as I think about it, every single person that I've ever known that has decided to non-exist, if you catch my drift, they got to a certain point in their lives where there was this hole in them. I think that's ultimately that's all about. I mean, there's like, someone is in agonizing physical pain that's never going to get better, and they're just absolutely screwed, and they say enough is enough. Okay, there's that kind of thing, right? But then there's the people who non-exist. They non-exist because there's just this gaping hole in them that they don't know how to fill, and they don't know what to do with. And me personally, the way that I see it, as honestly as possible, it's because they never understood what Magick was. It was never inclined to them, and it was never explained to them. They could never tap into it. The whole gist of it, it fills that hole. So we have this honest conundrum where it's like I feel like the hole existing in people that drives them to non-exist, or drives them insane, or drives them to give up and, stare blankly at a TV screen, playing video games or watching TV or fluffy movies or whatever little side passion hobby thing they're doing, whatever it is. They're trying to make up for a larger whole. Some people just live with the whole, and then there's people who realize that magic, once again, Magick, that sort of magic, is the thing that's going to complete them. Now, the thing here is that on the other end of the spectrum, if someone goes too deep into magic in an unhealthy, fantastical way and starts believing all manner of nonsense that isn't real, they disconnect from reality and they go so far in the other direction that there is also no way out. So, magic, it could be a poisonous thing if it's incorrectly utilized or it's taken as it's not. And I've been putting out a number of videos in my recent history which really talk about this. There's a few about mental illness that I've published following the passing of someone last year. And I've really ramped up my talk about, things I think are phony and aren't. And talking about also the other day, like, how do you try to deprogram someone who's gone so far deep into a sort of magical madness? How do you pull them back out? Now, this is all relevant stuff to talk about. So I guess with the thread going back a little bit that I'm getting at is that I guess the whole reason that I wanted to do this channel is not only like gives me a way to arrange my thoughts and gives me a way to sharpen my message and sharpen my approach, but I also want to communicate with the outside world, mainly because I want to try to stop people from, non-existing in a physical sense, but also in the way that they just kind of give up and stare blankly at a TV. There's like different forms of the H to the D, T to the A to the E to the D backwards. See, I did it. I could do that. They could pull me over and be like, hey, can you do, like, I can't do the fucking alphabet backwards sober. I didn't really have to think about that. But, I want to help from that standpoint, also to sharpen my own image and, must sharpen my own image, like I give a shit. Sharpen my own techniques, my own mind, and such, and blah, 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 blah. And I hope that's why other people do it as well. But there's also the game of magic, where we're all playing a little game of poker, a universal game of poker with each other, just because we've stepped up and are consciously working our magic. Some people are playing chess with each other. Some people are playing poker. Some people aren't even playing games with each other. But as long as there's one person doing it on the face of the earth, guess what? The game of magic is going on. And I'm hardly the only one thinking like this, So I like to, a good way to get people to play a card game, for instance, is the dealer gets like a special privilege. They get to do something special when they're the dealer. Like, they get to set a couple cards aside, and if they win X amount of hands, they get those cards added to their total. Little amenities, people, when you give a little bit of amenities, it makes people go, oh, I want to play that because I get to have that, like, ooh, it's a big thing. It's like, you always have to have that hook, So anyway, what I was trying to get around to is that throughout this channel's history, I've repeatedly stressed certain things over and over and over and over. And it's one of these moments in time where I feel like I should just plainly say what I've been thinking. So here we are, and I am behooved to think about the ending of John Carpenter's The Thing. where McReady sits down next to, Keith David, who's been turned obviously into the Thing. And he's just like, why don't we just wait here and see what happens? Or something to that effect. And that's kind of like what I'm feeling right now. It's a timeout moment between me and the creature I fight on a daily basis. And the creature is the malformation of Magick. I'm like Shade the Changing Man, except the field of madness that I fight is a different one, but I don't have a cool Technicolor looking dream coat. You should really look into Shade the Changing Man. That's like one of the most magical things I could ever tell you. It's a comic book series from the early 1990s through like 96 or 97, around there. I highly recommend. To the tip of the tip. And okay, so take it from Shade here, where I'm going to have a very frank discussion. And cutting all the bullshit, because this may be the first video that anybody sees on this channel, because, I'm going to take it maybe a little bit more lightly after this, as far as content goes. But the first thing is first, before anything, people will tell you that the whole that I'm talking about that should be changed by utilizing magic, they'll tell you that religion is the true thing that's going to empty that hole, or fill that hole. Empty that hole is going to make it even worse. Well, they say it's going to fill the hole, but it will empty the hole and make the hole even deeper and deeper and deeper, because Jeebus is a false messiah. And that's the first thing that usually they'll go to. But beyond Jeebus, you know what I'm saying? Like, every religion, any religion that exists, if at the head of this religion there is a figure that says that they were either God, or they were sent by God, or that they received messages by God, they're insane and they're lying to you. And they can't be trusted. It's a hoax. And this is the same thing when we talk about black magicians saying that Belial talked to them, or that Satan channels messages through them, or whatever. They're insane, okay? So that's the thing. All these people are insane, or they're full of shit, or they're trying to steal your money, or trying to bring you into their sick cult, because their sick cult is some fantasy world that they created in their mind, and now they're sucking everybody into one by one by one. Heaven's Gate is a perfect example of that sort of thing. And here's the thing. Beyond those sort of religions, there's different like philosophy religions, all kinds. Some are more ridiculous than others. But the thing is, you always have to look at brass tacks and bottom lines. Do you truly subscribe to the ideas that they are offering, explaining why the universe was created or how? Which, if you just look at objectively, are mighty unscientific and pretty wild. All kinds of stuff. So my point is, with religion in general, approach them all, okay? Learn what they are. There's a thing called disembodied wisdom. It's kind of like saying when you separate the art from the artist. Well, separate the religion from the supposed wisdom writing. And you'll find that sometimes these things make an awful lot of sense, and it's fine to absorb, and it's very important that you do. Other times, it's jibber-jabber. Other times, you can plainly disagree with it. And this is why I'm telling you, number one, the Buddha is a character like this. There's all kinds of things, supposedly the Buddha said, that make sense and are intelligent, and you can apply to your own life. But don't for one second think that dude had the answer, or that everything they were saying was even correct. Because I just completely, plainly disagree with the bedrock formations of so much that guy was talking about. You will never, ever compare me. And I feel like, not just that's just an example. Realize I'm picking on them all. I'm picking on all of them. I'm promulgating a fight with all of these deities and such. What I'm getting at is just, there's a riddle which created the universe, and then there's the universe itself. And one is like half of what I would call God, and the other side that we can't figure out would be the other half of God. But it's all united as one big old thing. And this is where the largest power of Magick Reserve is at. When you're able to consolidate everything as one and all. This is the point. And anything else, isn't that, is ultimately a lame fuck around. They're detours. So let me tell you, there's no invisible plane where there are figures that are like real people that exist and deal with you like entities. Like there's no Azazel, there's no Lilith, there's no Satan, there's no any of this stuff. These are fantasies. And unless you're able to just say these are plainly fantasies, you're not really going to get anywhere. You're going to get lost in weird fantasy world, and you're going to use your magic powers in order to sustain and develop into a fantasy that is all embracing. And then you end up in a weird devotional religion to some sort of entity that's just a sub idea of religious scholars from some religion that created something. You're following folklore. You're following myth. Your devotional religion of constant worship to a symbol, instead of realizing that the symbol represents a part of you, and it's that part of yourself that you should be developing, worshiping. Like, don't tell me you're praying to Lilith and communicating with Lilith, and you don't think it's just some shadow reflection of yourself. It's some, that's like one of the biggest examples. I mean, the Lilith cults are roaring, all you troublemakers, But hey, do what you will, but, I'm flying a flag here. I think y'all are crazy, all of y'all. It doesn't matter if it's Lilith or it's some Celtic god or it's Viking stuff or, doesn't matter what it is, any kind of deity. It's like if you want to say, I am psychologically creating this energetic thing in front of me in order to hone all my force, and it's like creating an egregore with my own mind that only I am interacting with, and then you're giving it life like it's a golem. Just say that. Just say, like, I'm taking all these different experiences I have and sensations I have regarding the universe and my experience with the elements, and I'm cooking all this stuff up, and I'm concentrating it into like this thing, and I'm doing this and this and this and this. That's fine. I got nothing against that. That's all part of the game. That's fine. Run wild with it. Have fun. But understand that's what you're doing. You're creating a mini-me. If anything, if egregores are real, if you're able to like make sustained force on an invisible realm of some, golem-like thing that you created with your own psychic intensity and willing it to exist, and it follows you around like a little poltergeist. Trade secrets. So, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. People who refuse to see anything other than, like, you have to really, really partition up your existence as a human, and to all these different sub-archetypes that you play with. I just feel like the deities, the gods, the goddesses, whatever, all the I don't know, because it's all part of the normal world. Do you call them supernatural at this point? Any kind of ethereal being, however you want to put it, ethereal being, sorry. They're just little puppets, and you're the marionette curator, They're little marionettes that you dangle around on your own strings that you create, okay? So that's just what I wanted to say, and I know I've said that a million times, but as I said, this show is drawing close of an old era And I know I will continue to produce videos. I just don't know the new direction that I should be heading. In trying to fill that hole that we've been talking about, there's all kinds of things that seem sparkling, dazzling, fantastical, that can lead you to places that seem like a great idea on paper, but people aren't quite ready for it. I mean, we hear all the horror stories of people who are super superstitious people who want to get into black magic. So they turn to all these people and they start doing all these rituals, all these like hardcore gods, and they start fucking with things they aren't ready, and their minds break down and freak out, and then they just melt down, and all this shit happens. And anything that happens in their life after that, they think entities are doing to them for not fulfilling their pacts. All this silly shit. Oh man, the messes these fucking people create, that's what I'm talking about. All you have to do, any of those people that are like, oh, I want this power, blah, 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 just push them towards the ninja. Be like, yo, learn Toshindo. Go find Stephen K. Hayes, dude. Go find Masaaki Hatsumi. Fucking, there's all kinds of things to do here. All kinds of ways to embrace that shadow. This silly shit. Like you gotta turn to a demonic entity to like do stuff for you. And you gotta like pay someone thousands of dollars that are supposed fucking professionals to like do this for you. Some fucking goofballs. Did anybody watch that fucking video the other day from KV Jabberwocky and SJ Garfield? Because I know I saw half of it and I couldn't take it anymore. I had to turn it off. It was just punishing to listen to. These guys, and they're serious about their own shit, supposedly. As I said before in some other video, like if those guys have some sort of like back alley deal with Satan, and Satan's like doing shit with them and hanging out like their homie. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing or why so sillies. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to talk about those idiots. I don't understand them not being negative. I'm just being honest. I'm calling out bullshit right now, and I've got a little bit more time because I've been ranting on for a while now, and you're probably sick of listening to me. So I'll just wrap it up neatly like this. The thought forms that you allow to possess you, in fact, possess you because your mind is doing it. And once possessed, you stay possessed until someday you figure out how to untrigger that trigger in your mind. That's a key component. When you inviting shit into your life, understand that the things that you consume intellectually, it's just the same as the sustenance when you get nutrition from food, It works exactly the same, The stimuli you take is just as potent as food. And it digests, and it becomes part of you. So, you always have to be extremely, extremely wary. So, I guess I could sit here and rant on and on and on and on and on about everything that I think is bullshit. But I am fucking burned out and I'm sick of doing this. So anyway, I hope anybody listening, hope some of this got through to you. If you're offended, oh well. I'm just some guy and these are my opinions. I don't run an online store. I don't do rituals for money. I'm just some guy. And I don't even make any money on that little book I put out. Like there's no monetary gain here. There's no Ponzi scheme, bro. I'm just some guy with a fucking recorder saying whatever is on my mind and slapping it up on YouTube for anybody who cares to listen. So that's my opinion. I'm Dr. Zeero Xiron of the Free Magic Secrets Show. And do hit that subscribe button and click the playlist tab and go through everything. And as always, here's a hot rockin' outro just for you. Later.
Pushing barriers, planting seeds, and not in the not absurd. Reduced to zero, Pythagoras concurs. Reduced to nothing, reality blurred. Condensed to nothing, freedom assured. Gambling on mind games together, smashing barriers, planting seeds. Propagandize the mind gorilla, bellowing mantra, a joke upon earth. Playing these mind games forever, occult magicians lifting the veil, enacting the mind gorilla. Some call it magic for power and veil. The game is the answer, you know that for sure. The game is a flower, propaganda endures. Reduced to zero, you know that for sure. Reduced to zero, Pythagoras concurs. Reduced to nothing, reality blurred. Condensed to nothing, freedom assured. So keep hustling our mind games together, holding the future out of the now. You just can't whip all those mind gorillas. Absolute elsewhere, Stonehenge of your mind. Yeah, we're waging these mind games forever, projecting checkmate in space and in time. Yeah, combining these mind games forever, advancing our pawns with reason and rhyme. Now is the answer, and you know that for sure. Never surrender, you gotta endure. Now is the answer, you know damn well for sure. Never surrender, forever endure. So keep on playing those mind games together, doing the ritual under the moon. Keep on playing these mind games forever, lucid attainment of the year wheel. The game is the answer, you know that for sure. The game is a flower, propaganda endures.